turns it into an off-road beast that will beat any Raptor out there. I'm drinking American beer because talking about a lot of America things today. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. That's right, lots of America going on in this video today. Today we're going to be talking about something that just came out from Factory 5 Racing, which is a kit car producer. A kit car, if you don't know, is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. If you ever wanted a Shelby coupe, but you didn't have $5 million, well, kit cars got you covered. Factory 5, and one of their most popular kits, is the Shelby GT Coupe. You go out and you buy a 2002 Mustang, and you order your kit from Factory 5, and you combine the two, and you have a really nice looking replica hand built by you in your garage, and it can all be done for like $30,000. Now, Factory 5 isn't the only one doing this. There are lots of companies doing this. There's probably hundreds if you counted it up. If you ever see a T-Bucket on the road, which is a modified Model T, or any of those like 32 hot rods or anything, a lot of those are kit cars. Pretty crazy how close they are to the original, and you don't have to deal with any body work. They just work right out of the box. Like I was just saying, most of these kits are for your completely unattainable cars that nobody can buy. They're just, you make a replica of something cool you've always wanted. But Factory 5 has been doing something a little bit different. Factory 5 has been around since 1995. They've been building these really cool kits. And the one that really caught my attention was something called the 818C. It is a super nice looking sports car based on a Subaru chassis, and the 818 name comes from it only weighing 818 kilograms, which I think is like 1,800, it's 18 or 1,600 pounds. I think it's 1,800. Now, the main topic of this is not the 818. It is something Factory 5 just released called the XT1. It takes your standard model 2015 to 2020 F150, must be a crew cab, must have a certain size tank, yada yada, and it turns it into an off-road beast that will beat any Raptor out there. Like, on the surface, it kind of just looks like a Raptor. It's got the wide fenders and it's got the cool look of a Raptor, but it is much more than a Raptor. This kit comes with a full tube frame chassis with swing arms, kind of like a trophy truck in the back, that gives you 20 inches of travel. And of course, you get the long travel front shocks as well. Comes with Fox shocks. Fox shocks are incredible, and these ones are fully adjustable, so you can set it for whatever you're doing. You could probably take this thing rock crawling if you wanted to. Not probably, you could. You could set it up for crawling, you could set it up for pre-running, anything you want. And if you get your settings memorized and marked out correctly, you can go on and off the road pretty easily and not have to deal with that crazy wobbly suspension that most pre-runners have. So we're already miles ahead of the Raptor in that case. And Factory 5 even says their chassis, while just being 100 pounds heavier, is twice as strong as the original Ford chassis. If you look at this thing, it is gorgeous. I believe it. It's not no unibody bullshit. Now I'm putting them on screen right now. The CAD photos of this thing are just beautiful. Like, the amount of hours that went into this is just insane. Now, along with all of that, it's got a 55-45 weight distribution. Now, it ain't no trophy truck, but for a pre-runner, that is really, really good. Now, it is a little bit heavier on the nose, but that 5% is not really enough to make me concerned. The big problem with a lot of pre-runners is that they nosedive. So when you're jumping dunes and whatever, they want to come down and land on the nose. So the more weight you have in the back, the longer it will kind of glide, if that makes sense. If you look at videos of trophy trucks, when they jump, they're usually landing either flat or they're sometimes nosediving, but with the suspension and everything, you really want that balance because you don't want to end up like a lawn dart in the sand. Basically, this thing is just a more badass Raptor, but you can just put it together in your garage. And to top it off, unlike most kit cars out there, this thing keeps the factory interior of the F-150. So you still get a 5-seat, it might even be 6-seat, I'm not 100% sure on the Fords, but you have a 5 or 6 person capacity in this pre-runner build. And aside from the seats, you still get all your safety features are still there, like your backup cameras, and I'm assuming your lane departure stuff might still work too. Most of all, you get to keep your factory radio. That's actually really cool. Now, like every story, there is all those upsides, and they come with some downsides. Well, the first one is kind of a downside, but not really. It comes in at $25,000 for the kit, which for what you're getting is a really good deal. But for most guys out there wanting to build stuff like this, they usually like nickel and dime along the way and upgrade little things at a time where they feel it fits. So 25 grand up front on top of buying a newer pickup, it's kind of a lot to ask for. And like I was saying, newer pickup. It has to be a 2015 to 2020 crew cab with a 26-gallon tank, like very specific. Now, I'm not sure how common the different tank sizes are, but having to buy a crew cab truck for this, I understand why they did that, because building different tube frames for each extended cab and single cab would be a major pain in the ass. But at the same time, you've looked at trucks lately, holy shit, crew cab trucks are insane right now. And even getting a 2015, even if you go on the higher mile side, you're going to be spending some coin. In my area anyways, just off the top of my head, I don't think I've seen a crew cab pickup for less than 30 grand. Maybe there's some out there in the 20 to 30 grand range, but yeah, they're not cheap. At the very least, I think an extended cab version would be kind of cool, because that's what a lot of like farm trucks and government vehicles are. So when those do eventually start getting rotated out, I want to say they'll be cheap, but who knows with the way gas cars are going. And to get around that 26-gallon tank limit, you could probably go with a fuel cell and just drop the tank completely to make it all fit together. But that's just another thing you have to do. Now, take all this with a grain of salt as being negatives, because I would rather go buy a Honda for $250 and make it a fast and fun car. But that's just me. I'm probably the weird one in the room. Yeah, I started doing some math on my Honda Prelude project, and that's not going to be cheap by the time it's done. Now, the biggest downside to me is something Factory 5 did in the past year, it seems, that is a little bit concerning to me. So, the car we were talking about earlier, the A18, they kind of just discontinued it without telling anybody, and they canceled orders. I think everybody got their money back, but they just canceled everybody's orders of cars they had on order, which is, it sounds like it's not too bad, but I went and looked through their comments on their social media, and a lot of people had donor cars that were waiting on their kit, and it just got canceled. So they went and bought a car, and maybe they even had it stripped down ready for their kit, and they're just SOL. They kind of just got screwed. Kind of shitty, but the A18 is still on their website, so I'm kind of thinking maybe they're going to bring it back somehow. I don't know. It is, I wish they would have at least communicated it better, because there's a lot of people in the comments. If you just go on their Facebook page and look in the comments, there are so many people complaining about, hey, I ordered a kit and you canceled it. I already have my car. What the fuck? I don't want to slander Factory 5. It does seem like they're a pretty good company. They're family owned. They seem like a small business. I've been a fan of them personally for a long time. I think I was 14 or so when I wanted the A18, or I first discovered it. Maybe one day we could do a kit car on the channel. That might be fun. Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, let me know if you want me to build a kit car for the channel. Let me know what you think about the Ford XT1. I personally think it's pretty cool, but like I said, there's some downsides, but there are a lot of upsides. I mean, just the suspension alone is just mwah, mwah, mwah. And that is all there is for today. So make sure you like this video if you liked it. Really helps the channel out. And make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on anything that drives.